Hey everybody, it's Candy, aka Brown Eye Girl 629. How y'all doing today? Well, today is Monday, May 18th of 2026. And so that would make today the 138th day of year one. I got on here specifically to make a video about homelessness. I don't know how long I'm going to speak on the subject because of the fact that I'm very familiar with the subject. And I guess when I see others out there talk on the subject, it triggers me. Before I ever went homeless, I never understood it. I never experienced it, so I didn't understand it. And like so many other people who've never experienced it for themselves personally, there's a lot of misconceptions surrounding the subject matter itself. There's so many things I could speak on the subject matter. Like, whose fault is it as to why those folks are homeless? Who's responsible? And if those folks are homeless, where are they supposed to go? What are they supposed to do? Not all homeless people are drug addicts or alcoholics. Some homeless people are very intelligent, educated, degreed, and then something tragic happens in their life that leads them into a downward spiral that they can't get out of. And then some people, after so much time of being in this downward spiral that they can't seem to get out of, just choose not to try to get out of it anymore. And just accept that this is what life has to offer them for this moment in time. That was me. That was me and Daryl. Me and Daryl left Oklahoma, moved to Colorado for better opportunities because of other people that encouraged us to do so. So we kind of went up there with the idea that it was going to be a lot because of what people were telling us and promising us. Is why we made the move that we made. But once we got up there, we realized the truth was not exactly as it had been spoken to us. But we still tried to make it. At that point in time, it was 2012. That was right when the company started trying to take off with making you apply online through their websites. And then sometimes they would have different job mediators handle the incoming applications. or not necessarily some other company handling it, but it was just basically another form of technology that they had that could handle taking in all these applications, that then at a later time the manager could go into this program or this application that they were using for their business and review all the applications that had come in through this specific website, and then take the process further from there with those that they were interested in. But here's the thing: they were never able to put a face to that resume at all. It was all faceless. I grew up in the generation where, when I was a teenager in the 80s, you went and knocked on an employer's door that says, now hiring, or we are hiring. You go in, you talk to the manager, you fill out a small paper application that gave you your basic information and your experience if you had any. And you usually could walk out with a job and start within a day or two. Well, by 2012, that was kind of going out the window. And me, my whole life, I'd never even made a resume. I never had a need to make a resume because getting a job wasn't that difficult for me. I was able to, if I quit a job one day, I could have a job the next day. It wasn't like it was that difficult. And I had multiple talent, skills, and abilities, so I could go in any direction that I wanted to go. You know. Anyway, we tried, things didn't work out, and we were basically given no other choice than to live on the streets. After a while, we just accepted the fact, and I quit being angry and just started looking at the good in each day and trying to find the positive in each day and trying to always better myself regardless of where I was or the situation. you know Daryl and I learned at the same time in some instances. Daryl had been homeless before me prior, but not for a very long period of time. So everything that was happening to him and me along the way was new to him just as much as it was to me. With that being said, I understand people's plights with it because there's such a wide. Okay, even if you was just to look at it across the board as humanity in general, housed or unhoused, there's humans out there that have a lot of issues, problems, trauma, abuse, mental problems, um, drug problems, alcohol problems. So some people, in societal eyes, are a nuisance, or and some people think they don't even shouldn't even have the right to exist. This is in multiple cities, and it's hitting pretty close to home to me because the next town up, Norman, the town that I Grubhub in, the town that I have worked several jobs in throughout my life. I never personally lived there, but I've always done business there, in some shape, form, or fashion. Whether it was with restaurants, whether it was with me in a job there. Norman is the next biggest hub to go to away from Purcell. Um, So I'm very familiar with the town. When I first moved back here in November 20, well, I moved back here in February 21, but in November 21, I got a job at a place called Nashburg Chicken. And it was right on downtown Main Street in Norman. And yes, the homeless was in and around the area. A couple blocks up and over was the homeless shelter. But it only opened up at like 6 or 7 o'clock at night. And then the people had to be up, I think, 6 or 7 the next morning. So there were always people milling around in the area. There's a place called Andrews Park that's just down the road from there that has a little splash pad and a playground and a seating area and some pavilions with benches that are shaded. That at one point in time, a lot of homeless people would hang out at during the day. For the most part, most homeless people are not trying to take advantage of anyone. Most homeless people are just trying to get through their day the best way they know how with what they have available to them. On a hot day, they're only wanting to find shade and or a place to go indoors to cool off and make sure they have plenty of beverage, water, especially water, to keep them hydrated. It would be nice if there were showers available, even a basic place just to rinse off, even if it meant people having to put on their swimsuit and stand under a pole coming out of the ground with a shower head on it that allowed you to stand under it and rinse yourself. And yes, have a drain underneath you, little thing of cement. Hell, if they wanted to build up little buildings around it and put a door on it or whatever, so a person could take their clothes off and shower and clean their bodies like a normal human being could and can, would be great too. The biggest problems that Daryl and I seen when we were homeless was the fact there were no public showering facilities. Um, if you didn't if you didn't own a home, if you didn't rent a hotel, or if you didn't have a gym membership, getting a shower was very few and far between. Laundry, same thing. Unless you had the money to go to the laundromat to wash the clothes, well, it's just not going to happen. That's why a lot of these homeless people look so bad and smell so bad. It's because the cities and the towns don't do anything for people that have a basic need and necessity. See, I always thought the governments were supposed to work for we the people. I thought it was we the people that decided what we needed in general for everyone involved, not just for a few select group of people, for all people involved. Why are people that have all the cards stacked against them when they're homeless just have more crap tossed on top of them, It breaks my heart. It really does. It pisses me off that people who've never experienced being homeless, for some reason, like to take their phone, drive around the city where the known homeless encampments are, and film them, sometimes getting confrontations with them, and then post it online and make it seem like it's the homeless person or homeless people's fault. And then I can understand the people that live in those neighborhoods' plights and grief over the fact that they don't feel like they're safe enough to go to their park with their kids. So then they'll say things like, these people need to just leave. These people need to just go. Well, where are they supposed to go? Where are they supposed to go? Tell me. I really want to know. Where are all these hundreds of thousands of humans that don't have a home, don't have a vehicle, don't have proper medical care for whatever ails them or whatever ailments they're dealing with in their life? It's like people don't want other people that are less fortunate than them to be in their neighborhoods. But where are these less fortunate supposed to go? And the cities and small towns, churches, all these, the government, the states, the federal government, they aren't doing a damn thing about it. Why? Because they don't care. Okay, I guess it says it's connected. I don't know.